Hi, this is Ashira and welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings. We just had a bit of a drinking party in the last episode and everybody got drunk. Everybody had slight misunderstandings and arguments, but hopefully, generally, things are okay. But we're currently escorting Adine back home. She tried to fly home, but yeah, she's a little bit under the influence, so hopefully it's a more sensible option just to get her back home nice and safe on the ground. No more flying. So yeah, we're going to take this stroll and we're going to see where the conversation leads us. The night sky was mostly clear of clouds, the moon was full and shone down upon us with an accompaniment of stars around it. It was in fact a rather pleasant night for a walk. Adine seemed to think so too, as I observed her smile through the brief illumination of the occasional streetlight, and how her eyes reflected brightly in the moonlight. She did seem unusually quiet, however. Her face suggested that perhaps she was wrestling with some convoluted thoughts. I was comfortable with the silence myself, but I wondered if Adine would appreciate a distraction. Adine? Yeah? You're a little bit quiet, unusually so. Oh, yeah. Adine had been anxiously fidgeting with her wings a little bit. When she relented her fretting and let her arms drop to her sides again, I felt her brush one along one of my own accidentally. Oh, sorry. Reach back for it or ignore? We'll ignore it for now, I guess. During the remainder of the trek, we both seemed to partially recover from the effects of the alcohol. While we walked, I took the opportunity to admire the night sky. Now that we had left the more brightly lit part of town, the stars shone clearer in the empty space above. The sky looks quite nice tonight. Too bad there are a few clouds around, or else it would have been perfect. Adine must have noticed my upward attention. She brought herself out of whatever she was musing to join me in my observations, though she seemed to be looking around with more purpose than I was. After a time, she stopped in her tracks to gaze at a particular point in the sky. It's gone. The asteroid? Yeah, I can't see it anymore. It's not anywhere near where I last saw it. That must be a good thing, right? I'd think so. She reached up and pointed to a particular grouping of celestial entities. That's where it was the last time we saw it together. You've got an impressive memory. Well, I have been keeping an eye on it. Considering how often I practice after dark, I saw it quite often. It never really moved that far. And since we diverted it, it had been getting smaller every night, and now it's gone completely. It's bizarre. I've looked at and thought about that asteroid so many times since I first noticed it. Never did I once consider that it might wind up being the cause of, well, you know. Life has its strange twists, doesn't it? Does it ever? Who would ever expect something so disastrous to come from something that seems so innocuous in comparison? Well, maybe it's someone else's problem now. If it is, good luck to them. Good riddance to it, though. We continued our journey down the darkened road. Eventually, we arrived at the complex in which Adine's apartment resided. Am I coming in? Of course you are, silly. I don't fancy talking out here at the doorstep all night. Make yourself at home. We made our way inside the apartment, where Adine promptly collapsed on her bed, and she looked exhausted, eyes lidded. Even though we largely cleared up, I still felt a buzz in my head, and I was much more used to it than her. I don't think I'm going to move from this spot. Don't blame you. But we need to have our conversation, and I'm ready for that. Okay, what did you want to talk about? I think you know what I mean. Yeah, I do. When you, held me, that was one of the best nights of sleep I ever had. So, oh gosh, never done this before. What, drew you to me? Personality? Looks? Not sure. Not sure is a bit of a vague thing. Looks is a bit shallow. But not sure is kind of like a deeper connection, perhaps? I'll go personality for now. My personality? Yeah, you're unbelievably kind, supportive and determined. The orphans are incredibly lucky to have you in their life, as is everybody who meets you, especially me now. That's the sweetest thing someone has ever told me. So what now? What do you mean? I think we both just admitted that we love each other. Where do we go now? Honestly, I don't know. Never thought I'd get this far. Same. But you're sitting over there, when you should be over here. I moved over to her bed, adjusting so we can both fit comfortably. The instant I did, however, Adine crawled over to me. Her head was on my chest, and she looked peaceful. Her eyes met mine. Without thinking, I leaned forward and kissed her on the lips, and she reciprocated, leaning into it as she held my face with her talons. I was never worried about her scratching me, and despite their sharp tips, they gently stroked my face as I did her back. I heard her purring through the kiss, and I knew right then and there I had made an excellent choice. This is everything. It's all I wanted in life, but I was too scared to ever venture. Well, I'm glad you did, because laying here with you is the best night of my life since I got here. Oh, only since you got here. You know what I mean. Yeah, I do. Oh, actually, do you want some music on? I think that's what couples do in moments like this. Either that or I've been watching too much TV. Or reading too many magazines. Oh, quiet, there are never too many to read. Do we want the music? Oh, that's okay, fine. What type do you like? I don't think you ever heard our music, actually. Something heavy, soft, or romantic? I don't know, soft. I think softer music might work, you know, something ambient. I agree. I'm not sure how much I have, but I can look. During our comfortable silence, I examined Adine's apartment again. Last time I was here, I never really had a good poke. Then again, I never wanted to invade her privacy, but with her on top of me, I couldn't help but wander my eyes a bit. That's when I noticed a picture of an unfamiliar red dragon. Adine had wrapped her wings around her neck, nuzzling her affectionately. The red dragon looked embarrassed. Who dat? Adine followed my gaze. Instantly her face fell. I felt like I'd made a grievous error. Uh-oh. Was my best friend, Amelia. I took this apartment from her when she... It's okay. You don't have to say anything more. I'm sorry for bringing it up. No, it's okay. You were going to notice eventually, and you have every right to know now. You met Remy, right? Yeah. Amelia was his girlfriend. They kept their relationship a secret, as their line of work could leave them open to people exploiting it. Eventually, it got to the point where they had to break it off temporarily. They still loved each other, it was just that their work left them unable to visit, but they would come back when ready. However, one night, Amelia was sick. I offered to stay with her, so she didn't have to walk home in the snow. She insisted she was okay. And I left. It was a snowy night, and she died getting a refill for her medication. The police found her the next morning. She froze to death, alone, because I left. I knew something was wrong, and I left her anyway. It's why I do what I do. I never want to be in that position again, nor have anybody else experience it. But, as it turns out, Amelia was pregnant. Remy has no idea and still doesn't. Remy hates me for this. He hates me for letting her go, but nobody hates me more than me for it. Don't worry about that right now. We can talk about it another day. Promise me something? Anything. Please don't keep our relationship a secret. I don't ever want to hide it like they did, to be strong and then die in a cold winter night because of it. I want to be open. I want to be proud. I promise, although I wonder what your parents are going to think of it. I did it again. No, I have a lot of unspoken baggage. And I feel so safe with you here that I can tell you all my worries without fear. Well, if you want to, I'm all ears. I know you are. Anyway, my parents kicked me out a few years back. I didn't want to go to college and study for something I hated. Not for lack of effort. I did try 3 different subjects. I wanted to be known as Angel. Well, of course, I didn't know my name then. My parents thought it was a poor decision, so they kicked me out and I've lost contact with them. I imagine if I reach out and say I regret my choices, they'd accept me back, but... You don't need to prove yourself to them. If they're that way, they're missing out on you now. True, I'm in bed with a human. I bet that'll make him jealous. Probably. But I suppose that does make me wonder what I'm going to do going forward. I don't want to be a waitress forever, and doing stunts is dangerous too. I understand that now. There will be another year, as you said, but I need to do something. We'll figure it out one day. Yeah, we will. With you by my side, I can do anything. But certainly not tonight. I think I had too much to drink. She yawned quietly, gripping me firmer and nuzzling my chest. Don't you dare think of sleeping on the floor this time. You're staying with me. Oh my. Not like that, silly. But if you're good, tomorrow's certainly another day. But what if I like being bad? Stop it with the cheesy lines. My heart can only take so much. She snuggled up close to me, and within minutes she was dead asleep. I wrapped my arms around her, and soon I too drifted off to dreamland. The next morning, sunlight hit my face. I woke up in an unfamiliar environment, but I quickly realised where I was, and who I was with. Adine was pressed tightly against me, enveloping me with her wings. I couldn't move without waking her. She looked so peaceful in her sleep, as if all her worries had melted away in the night. Her tail had my legs tightly bound too. I was trapped. Not that I minded. Eventually she started to stir, ear fins flicking. She pulled me closer, eyes opening slowly, and then shifted them to me. Morning. Morning. How long have you been awake? Not long. Oh, good. I was afraid I kept you here long. Nah, how's the hangover though? Don't need you flying drunk at work today. Adine raised her head, looking at the calendar at the far side of the wall. Oh, I've got today off. Lucky. So that means we have the entire day to ourselves? Oh, you don't have work? Nope. Besides, I'm pretty sure Anger's hungover with Maverick. What's today, Lover's Day? Is that the same as Valentine's Day? What's that? It's a holiday that humans celebrate about being in love, or just love in general. At least, that's how I understand it. Admittedly, I never looked into the source. Back when humanity still had its resources, I just used it as an excuse to get half-price candy. Oh, it's called Lover's Day here. But yeah, same principles apply. Even the candy part. We really aren't so different. No kidding. Adine stretched, not unlike a cat. I was able to see her muscles through her scales, and I realised just how powerful she was compared to me. But such a strength left a weakness. Tickle do nothing. Wow. It's a new day, it's a bright day, it's a happy day. We tickle. Seizing the chance, I ran my hands over her ticklish parts, and she yelped at the touch. Stop it, meanie. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Don't worry, I'll get my revenge yet. You're bound to be ticklish somewhere. I may be, I may not be. I won't tell that easy. Well, we got the rest of our lives to figure it out, huh? As much as I want to, we can't stay in bed all day though. Why not? Well, today's my day off. With you, I'm not wasting it. I suppose I should get up too. Can I use the shower? Only if you don't mind me joining you. You've seen my shower. It's more than big enough for the two of us. I followed her into the shower, and for the first time, I realised I'd have to be completely nude in front of her. She's never seen a nude human, and I certainly haven't exposed myself to any dragon. What's with the hesitation? I just haven't been naked in front of you before. And I'm always naked in front of you. Yeah, but our parts are exposed, while yours aren't. Oh, interesting. Is it true you have pincers down there to keep a mate close? I mean, no. Not unless you got an infestation that you don't need. Yeah, we do. What? Excuse me? Well, it's one of the myths I've seen online. No, we don't have pincers. Well, don't keep me in suspense. With a sigh I obliged. She watched with earnest interest, and I felt very embarrassed. Ta-da! They're a lot fleshier than I thought. Stop. Kinda cute even? Please stop. I wonder how they... Adine, you're gonna make me cry here. Ah, well, now I know how to tease you. Can't let you have all the advantage, can we? Wow, we've shared. Okay. The shower was almost scorching hot. Steam quickly filled the room. Sharing together was interesting. Adine was more than big enough, and I struggled in my own corner. After a bit, Adine watched with keen interest. Enjoying the show? Yeah, but not in the way you think. I am really interested in human grooming, like how different we are. You have all this hair, and we've got scales. What other myths are there about us? Well, we didn't really have anything written about showering. Most fiction has humans similar to us or animals. I guess you fall into the former category? After a few more moments, we finished up. I stepped out first, drying myself on the other side of the room, so I wouldn't get drenched by Adine shaking herself off. Then she approached and kissed me on the lips. Just about everything about you is so squishy and huggable. I think I struck gold. Yeah. Before we do anything, can we stop by my house? I gotta get some clothes. Yeah, sure. Do you want anything to eat first, though? Is it ramen? Not this time. We spent the next 30 minutes eating and enjoying each other's company. I watched her go through her set of goggles before putting them on. I was amazed that almost all of them looked the same, yet there were at least 5 pairs. She must have really liked that brand. We left the apartment, going toward my house, claw in hand. Despite being taller than me, she rested her head on my shoulder for a bit. We ignored the looks of other dragons. Some looked jealous, others confused. In a way, though, it was kind of exciting to have the attention. As we entered my house, however, Adine looked somewhat sad, taking off her goggles and fiddling with them. You okay? Oh yeah, but I'm just thinking, if we move in together, yours is obviously the better place. At least, it will be once we get a better shower. And that's an issue? Not realistically, but emotionally, yeah. Remember how I told you I took over the lease from Amelia? Yeah, I do. That place was the last real connection I have to her outside of pictures. If I move out, I feel like I'm leaving her behind. We don't have to think about that now. You can move when you're ready. Thanks. I know I'll be ready soon. After changing my clothes, I met Adine back in the living room. She was flipping through Draconic Desires, mouthing something silently. You seeing my progress? Sort of. But I'm also thinking about how we are literally living the book now. Fiction is usually based in reality somehow. True, maybe the author saw the future. Are they alive still? I think so. Why? We'll have to ask if we get the chance. Oh, that would certainly be an adventure. What did you want to do today, by the way? Well, it's a bit silly. So, I kinda want to try and build a sandcastle. I want to see the appeal. I mean, okay, we'll go build a sandcastle. Off to the beach then. And so, off to the beach we went. There were a few dragons out, so finding a spot was a bit difficult, but we found a place near the shade with a perfect view of the ocean. So, how does one do this again? Let me show you. I spent the next 20 minutes creating my own. I used some buckets which hung from nearby racks, using the ocean water to compact the sand a bit, and I was able to create a few towers. It was far from perfect, but it gave her a rough idea. Okay, I think I get it. Okay, we've got to build it up. I watched as Adine attempted her own. It was amusing, seeing her act like a small child on the beach. She had the time of her life after a few attempts, even if the castle looked like a lump of sand. Question, actually. Yeah. Did dragons ever have a monarchy? Humanity used to rule through one during its Middle Ages. It fell out in recent times, but that was typically what a castle was for. No, I don't think we ever did. I think we just assumed that they were false. I'm not a government student, but I believe that we just kinda gravitated to what we have now. Makes me wonder how long dragons have had society. Honestly, I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say 1,000 years, but I could be very wrong. She used her dexterous feet to sculpt out a tower, face joyous. Look at you go. I'm seeing the appeal of it now. It's so weird having all this wet sand go through my toes, but I'm also making stuff with it. I know it will fade now, but, well, I'm here with you, and that makes it memorable. 30 minutes later, Adine finished a castle. Ta-da! Not bad for your first attempt. Certainly better than mine when I tried. Oh, you're just being kind. Look how dumpy it is. I consider it Adine touched. Oh, you. That could either be taken as a nice thing or an insult. I saw Adine look at a nearby shack selling floaties for swimming. She get glancing between them and the water. You want to go swimming? Kinda, yeah. I haven't done it in some time, but there are some floaties by the shack over there. It'd be nice to relax in the gentle waves. And I'm curious as to how humans swim. Okay then. We gonna swim. New artwork. We rented a floaty, which Adine put around her waist. Surprisingly, she took off her goggles and left them with the shack for safekeeping. The water was nice and refreshing too. Soon, we got to a distance where I could swim freely. Some of the children and the other dragons stared with interest at the two of us, but none came over to question. Unfortunately, the salty water stung my bullet wound. It was healed enough to swim safely, but after, I'd have to clean it out, and after a while, I kinda just got used to it. This is wonderful. I could put on a pair of shades, read a magazine, and just unwind. Just don't drop it in the ocean. Well, that's what I have you for. I don't think I can stop that. Well, certainly not with that attitude. After a bit, Adine decided she wanted to try and swim. Sinking a bit into her floaty, she began to make broad strokes, using her tail as a rudder. She looked so happy in that moment. I've never seen her so unburdened. It was as if she could fly to the sun and back with how much energy she had, although her tail kept splashing me. You're trying to splash me on purpose, aren't you? Maybe. Smirking, I splashed back, and before long we had a small splash fight. I was woefully beaten, as dragons had tails that I could not keep up with. Give up? No way I can win against a dragon. Yeah, victory for Angel. Yeah, soak it up. We got out of the water and decided to go out to eat. The local cafe was our destination and we got a table. It was relatively full, so we decided to try and figure out what we wanted before the waiter showed. What we're going to eat, or is this a different cafe? What do you want? I'm open for pretty much anything. Pizza, steak, fish, pizza, yes. Can't go wrong with it. Not wrong there either. And do you know what you want to drink? I don't want to take up the waiter's time by thinking. Juice, water, coffee, alcoholic. Juice is nice. Yeah, not so bad. Yeah, I suppose we can think of what type. With our minds set, we placed our orders as soon as the waiter came. The waiter looked grateful that we knew immediately what we wanted. See, standing around waiting for customers to decide means less tips. Yeah, that's how it works with humanity too. A shame that portal doesn't work anymore. I really would have loved to have seen it. Oh, sorry I brought it up. It's fine. Kind of impossible to avoid the subject, you know. Are you sure? Yeah, I don't mind talking about it or answering questions. Actually, on the subject of our similarities, do you have pets? I don't think I've ever seen one here. No, surprisingly. Outside of the cattle, you see, we really don't have a lot of pets around here. Most of the animals we did try and tame try to eat us. Have you thrown food at them? It's how dogs came to be. What's a dog? Four-legged mammal that, depending on its breed, is incredibly intelligent. Can't speak, but they are perfect companions. Interesting. Do the PDAs have information on them? Yeah, a lot of humanity's traits are on there, including pets. I'd love to see them one day, both the PDA and these dog thingies. Don't suppose you can copy one like the map? I can try, but I can't offer a guarantee. As for the dogs, I don't think we have the genetic material, but if anybody would know about cloning, it's Anna. True, she'll tear down the laws of physics if it means getting what she wants. I have no idea how Mav puts up with her. He likes a girl who can put him in check, I think. Mav is a hidden sub. Wow, I wonder if the cuffs are on him now, actually. The world may never know. Surprised you're questioning this, though. Didn't take you as the type interested in that. Well, I was a growing girl. I got curious. Do you want me to get cuffs for you too? Damn. Hey. What? Hey, our food's here. This conversation isn't over. Oh, damn. We dug into our meals, Adine avoiding eye contact for the first minute or two. All I had to do was grin at her and she'd distract herself with looking out the window or her food. It's unbelievably cute. Once we finished our meal, we paid and left a generous tip. As we left, however, that's Bryce. Hey, you two made it home safely. Hey, you on break? Yeah, figured I'd take a small walk. It's nice to have things quiet again. So, what are you two up to? I turned to Adine, silently asking if we should tell him. Well, we're just spending a day together. After last night, we, finally slept together. Bryce! Oh my god, you actually did. I'm proud of you, dude. Although, you need to tell me what it was like being with a human, Adine. We didn't do that. We just slept. Together. If you say so. Speaking of sleeping together, did Maverick and Anna make it home safe? Yeah, Maverick spent the night, and from the sound of him calling out today, it went really well. I asked if cuffs were involved. He hung up. Okay, I were the two if you asked. Well, no phones here. Can always just run. I'm pretty sure I'm faster than you. Anywho, I'll let you lovebirds go. Last night was one of the best I'd had in a while, so we definitely need to go out drinking again. We need to get you other hobbies, man. Even if it was fun. Well, maybe. See you around. So, what now? I'm surprisingly tired from being out in the ocean. Yeah, sunlight will do that to you if you're exposed constantly. True, may as well head back to your place, it's closer. You just want to relax in my bed. Maybe, maybe not. We made our way back to my place, where we showered once again to get the ocean off us. Unfortunately, Mum was too small to share. Afterwards, we simply relaxed on the couch. Wonder what's on TV. Did you ever watch any of our shows? Outside Humans? Not really. Admittedly, I kinda blanked out the fact that I had it. Oh, well, I guess I'll have to show you some more things. But we will binge Humans. That's a condition of dating me. Same with the magazines. You better believe it. TV didn't really offer much this late in the afternoon. There were some crime shows, which, while I was interested in, Adine wasn't. Rom-coms were also on, which Adine was vastly interested in, but I kinda tuned out. Eventually, we just kinda sat in comfortable silence, enjoying each other's company. As she got up to stretch her legs, however, I grabbed her by the waist, holding her claw with the other hand. What are you doing? Have you never danced before? No, well, not on the ground anyway. Would you like to try? Sure. I gently led the dance, careful not to strain or hurt her. She had some clumsy steps, nearly carving open my feet at first. The danger was kinda fun though. Eventually we got into a rhythm. Our hips swayed with each other, our bodies close. Adine's tail wrapped around my back, head on my shoulders. I swore I heard more purring. After a bit, we slowly began to spin in place. I heard her breathing accelerate. She hummed to herself in elation, and to finish it off, I gently bowed her over. Is this how humans dance? Romantic ones, yeah. I think I like it. I don't mind doing it again soon. Good. Now, I don't know about you, but between the sun and that, I think I'm pretty beat. Can we just snuggle? Absolutely. We snuggle. I led her to the bedroom, where we got comfortably into bed. Twilight had come, and we shut the shades, laying in the darkness. Feeling each other's warmth and having her snuggle closer to me was about the best way this night could have ended. Hey, yeah? Adine's face turned bright red, as she kept tripping over her words in an attempt to speak. Do you, want to take it to the next level? Accept decline. Oh, okay. As long as it's not too explicit, I'll accept. Alright, if you want to, I'm ready. Okay, wait right here. I gotta go get something. What? I'm afraid to ask. You'll see. Better not be handcuffs. I wondered just what in the world she was gonna get. Cuffs? Was that why she was embarrassed? Okay, you ready? Because I got something to wear for the occasion. I'm dreading this, but yes. Ta-da! Adine, where did you get all those goggles? I may or may not have been hiding them here over the past few weeks for the occasion. You were planning on sleeping with me? Well, yeah, I pretty much told you that it was a fairly big crush as soon as we met. I will say, the look on your face made it all worth it. Am I gonna take them off or... No, you don't get it. The goggles stay on in the bedroom. I guess I can agree to that. Adine slowly crawled on top of me and looked at me with those loving magenta eyes. And I just fell apart. I didn't even notice my clothes coming off, and before I knew it, her and I were one. Her sounds were music to my ears, and I never wanted her to stop. She held me close, and the night was ours. Keep the goggles on though. I guess that went pretty well. That was amazing. No kidding. I'm so glad my first time was with you. I don't think anybody else could have compared. I feel the same. I love you so much. I can't wait for what happens next, and for more nights like this. I love you too, and I promise we will have many more nights like this. Holding each other close, we soon drifted off into sleep. I couldn't be happier. Part of me felt guilt that I was having this life while humanity had died off, but there's no point in looking back. Not when I had a future with her. I think that went pretty well. Nice. And that's a wrap. I hope you all enjoyed this. You see the best ending for Freefall with this. It might not have been what the original author intended, but I hope it was satisfactory enough. Thank you for playing, and thank you Really Credible for making it. Really enjoyed it. This was really quite in-depth. It had quite extra scenes that I wasn't expecting, but that is the good ending. But that is it for Freefall. Hope you enjoyed this again, and this is Usho signing off, and hopefully I will see you next time.